Most wardrobes contain two kinds of clothing: the pieces that make you feel like the best version of yourself the moment you put them on, and the pieces that have simply been there so long that removing them has never quite felt necessary. It is that second category we need to talk about today. Because after 60, there are specific clothing items that most women are still holding on to, items that made sense at a different point in life, but are now quietly working against every other good decision being made in the wardrobe. They are not worn because they are loved, they are worn because they are familiar, because getting rid of them feels like losing something. But here is the truth. Every one of these items takes up physical space in the wardrobe and mental space in the morning. And every time one of them is chosen, it costs the overall look something. A little polish, a little modernity, a little of the refinement that the rest of the outfit is working hard to achieve. Today we are walking through 7 clothing items that are consistently aging women over 60, and for each one, the specific reason it is doing damage and what to reach for instead. Stay with us through all 7, because the last item is the one that most women defend immediately, and it is often the one doing the most harm. Before we get into the 7, one important note. This is not about following trends or dressing younger than your age. It is about identifying the specific items that create a visual effect that adds years, rather than communicating the elegance and confidence that women over 60 have genuinely earned. These are two very different things. Comfort and elegance are not opposites, but a truly shapeless, completely oversized sweater with no structure, no waist suggestion, and no intentional fit communicates only one thing visually: that the outfit was not thought about. After 60, when the body has naturally softened in certain areas, a shapeless sweater adds bulk everywhere simultaneously. It removes all sense of proportion. It makes the torso appear wider and shorter than it actually is, and it creates a visual heaviness that no amount of good trousers or elegant shoes be back. The replacement is not a tight sweater. It is a fitted one. A knit that follows the natural shape of the body without clinging to it, that suggests the waist without emphasizing it, and that drapes rather than hangs. This single swap changes the entire silhouette immediately low can compensate for. A sweater or cardigan that has pilled significantly or faded unevenly communicates something very specific to anyone looking, not that the wearer is casual, but that the wearer has stopped paying attention. Pilling and fading are the first visual signals that a garment has passed the point of usefulness, and they age an outfit in a way that has nothing to do with style or fit. The challenge is that pilling happens gradually. A sweater that is worn regularly degrades slowly enough that the change becomes invisible to the person wearing it, which is exactly why so many women are still reaching for knitwear that has long since stopped serving them. A simple rule: if you can feel the texture of pills when you run your hand across the fabric, the garment has done its job, and it is time to replace it. Quality knitwear that is cared for well will last for years, but worn-out knitwear communicates nothing but neglect, regardless of how expensive it originally was. Prints are not the problem. The wrong prints are. A very busy print, one with multiple competing colors, large irregular shapes, or a pattern that overwhelms the eye, draws attention away from the face and toward the clothing itself. At any age, the goal of an outfit is to enhance the person wearing it, not to compete with them. Dated prints have an additional problem. They anchor an outfit to a specific moment in time. A print that was fashionable 15 years ago immediately communicates 15 years ago to anyone loth. The replacement is not to avoid prints entirely. It is to choose prints that are refined rather than overwhelming. A simple stripe, a delicate floral in tones that flatter the complexion, or a small geometric in 2 or 3 colors that complement each other cleanly. Oaking, regardless of how well the rest of the outfit is put together. Jeans are one of the most personal items in any wardrobe, often worn for years beyond the point at which they actually fit well. A pair of jeans that gaps at the waistband, pulls across the thigh, or sits at a rise that no longer works with the current body shape, does more damage to an overall look than almost any other single item. The problem is attachment. These are often jeans that fit beautifully at some point in the past, that were expensive or loved, or that represent a body the wearer hopes to return to. Keeping them is understandable. Wearing them regularly is quietly costly. The adjustment is not necessarily to discard every pair of jeans, but to be ruthlessly honest about which ones actually fit the body right now. Not the body of 10 years ago, not a future body, but the one getting dressed this morning. A well-fitted dark denim in a straight or slim cut at the correct rise is one of the most versatile and elegant items in a wardrobe. Jeans that no longer fit are simply clothing occupying space. A sheer or semi-sheer top worn directly over a bra or without a proper camisole underneath communicates an unfinished quality that undermines even the most elegant outfit around it. The transparency draws the eye immediately, and what the eye sees is undergarments and skin rather than the refined clothing intended to be the focus. The adjustment is simple. A quality camisole in a skin tone or a matching color worn beneath any sheer top transforms it completely. The layering becomes intentional, the transparency becomes a design element rather than an oversight, and the overall look immediately reads as considered and refined rather than unfinished. An elastic waistband that has stretched beyond its original tension does something very specific. It creates a rippling, uneven line around the waist that draws the eye directly there. The fabric bunches, the trouser or skirt hangs unevenly, and the entire garment communicates a level of wear that no other part of the outfit can compensate for. If the waistband of any trouser, skirt, or dress moves independently from the garment, rolling down, folding over, or sitting unevenly, that garment is finished. It served its purpose. Replacing it with a properly structured waistband that sits cleanly and consistently at the natural waist immediately restores the proportion and polish that the stretched version was removing. This is the item most women defend immediately, and often the one doing the most consistent harm. The very long, unstructured cardigan became a wardrobe staple because it feels like a solution. It covers the midsection. It feels comfortable. It adds a layer without commitment. But a cardigan that falls past the hips with no structure, no shaping, and no intentional silhouette does the opposite of what is intended. It adds length and volume simultaneously, making the torso appear longer and heavier rather than streamlined and elegant. It also tends to drag the shoulders downward, which affects the entire posture of the outfit. The replacement is a cardigan that ends at the hip, structured enough to hold its shape, fitted enough to suggest the body beneath it, and short enough to create clean proportion with whatever is worn below. What connects all 7 of these items is not that they are unfashionable or that they were wrong choices at the time they were purchased. Most of them were excellent choices once. The issue is simply that they have passed the point at which they continue to serve, and holding on to them beyond that point costs something from every outfit they are part of. A wardrobe that works is not a large one. It is an honest one where every item hanging on the rail has earned its place, not through sentiment or habit, but through the genuine contribution it makes to how you look and feel every single morning. Of the 7, addressing the jeans and the knitwear first will have the most immediate impact. These are the items most women reach for most frequently, and refreshing them changes the entire daily look with very little effort.